Welcome to tonight's webinar, the residential assisted living opportunity. Honestly, what an incredible opportunity it is, and we're super excited to have Isabelle Guarino. I'll do a quick intro. Just a few things. As you know, we have this webinar is recorded. We do that. We post it on our YouTube channel, YouTube at .com/Protect Wealth Academy. Usually there at least for 30 days. And the content there will be sent for, recording afterwards, usually within 24 hours after this webinar. So if you haven't gone to our channel, it's always great. My little 6-year-old says like and subscribe because that means she's watching too many YouTube videos. But anyway, if you would do that, like and subscribe, it's really true because then you get notifications once you go onto YouTube. It's kind of fun that way. So suggest you take a look there. We have some incredible presenters, topics, including Isabelle's on there from the past. So Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, right? Some other people on there we've had. It's such a neat archive of wealth of information. Internet's a beautiful thing. So take a look at that. Of course, our Facebook, always literally like us there too. We post a lot of content and event updates. And we do a lot of articles and resources at our website, Protect Wealth. But the biggest thing we do, the most important part, you can see Isabelle in this picture. She's been at our 3-day Asset Protection and Wealth Creation Summit. We've been doing this for 20 plus years, believe it or not. We always say it's the longest running asset protection, wealth creation event in the country that we know of. It's probably true. And for one good reason is because we provide genuine knowledge and we genuinely want to help you do better for you and your family. And that is what Don and we talk about frequently. The reason we do what we do is because we really, truly, in our hearts, want to make sure that you understand the importance of estate planning for your children. We've seen the effects of not doing it. Asset protection, as a real estate investor, this, Isabelle, you've seen a lot of horror stories. If you don't put your assets in a LLC or a limited partnership and protect them the right way, it's devastating. And, I don't know. It's a lot of times we think about like insurance, I'll do it later, but sometimes that's too late. So come learn. We genuinely want to help bless you and your family. So our next one is live streamed on Zoom, April 28th through 30th. Love to have you. You can register there at protectwealth.com. And we'll just do a quick disclaimer. Of course, we're not giving tax, legal, financial, investment advice because if you're looking for that, you need to seek, investment advisor or attorney or someone who can help you specifically. This is for a general audience. And now we turn the time over to our good friend, Isabelle Guarino. Isabelle, we've known you like 10 years, probably more. I know Don and your dad even longer than that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Time has been flying.
Time is flying. We are so excited to have Isabelle on. She truly is a good friend of ours, and we're honored to have you on, Isabelle. The opportunity to invest in assisted living is an opportunity. If any of you are at all interested in real estate, this is the opportunity you kind of really do have to understand. So Isabelle, I'm going to turn it over to you. She is the expert. She is the guru of gurus when it comes to this. That's literally true. We've known Isabelle and her dad for years, and that is true. You've trained thousands of people across the country, always traveling and teaching because you're passionate and you have incredible experience doing this. So I'll turn it over to you. Thank you so much, Isabelle.
I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It
looks good on my end.
Looks good? Okay. Thank you for that introduction. And thank you guys for being here. I know it's even extra learning that you guys are getting on top of the incredible 3-day that they provided for you. But, I've got a bone to pick, you guys. Unless you're already rich in our current world, look around. The pressure for all of us to be making money has increased like a lot. And even if by some small miracle your finances are better than ever, maybe COVID or other economic pressures are now starting to make it obvious to you that you need far more than just get by money. You need to make a lot more money. So what are you doing? You probably are looking to take matters into your own hands. That's why you were at Protect Wealth's event. That's why you're here right now. And listen, that's smart, but it's also risky. There are a lot of opportunities that will promise you big profits and they're never going to pan out. And they're way more work than you signed up for, which is the other thing. Like, oh, come on. But what if you could have your cake and eat it too? Put in the work up front so you can get down to 5 hours of work per week and being hands off and cash flowing really well, an opportunity where the supply is low and the demand is off the charts, where you can practically call the rates. The industry is booming like crazy. Look around, it's everywhere. We're literally seeing everyone talk about this. It's coming into our world. We cannot stop it. You can be the one who provides solutions and be the answer to everyone's problems and even maybe your own problem. By at the end of this webinar, you are going to understand why I really feel that residential assisted living is the best investment for the next 20 or 30 years. So let's start with timing. You guys are aware the baby boomers have been driving our economy for the last 70 plus years. And this is your chance to take advantage of the trends that they create. It's their final wave goodbye. The world looked very different in 1950 than it's projected to look in 2050 or even 2060. That 85 plus demographic, it is the fastest growing demographic on planet Earth today. They are coming and we cannot stop it, right? But currently, the silent generation lives in assisted living, not the baby boomers yet. We're still 5 years out from the eldest of the baby boomers needing care and assistance. So we've got 5 more years till we hit that big green wall right there. 76 million baby boomers coming into this market. Timing has never been better. We are 1.3 million beds short right now. And what we're talking about here tonight is not a big box. It's not a Brookdale, a Sunrise, an Atria, long hallways, and impersonal staff where your loved one's just a number. It is disrupting what we think of when we think assisted living. It's saying no more is that the option. A smaller residential home where you actually get the care that you're paying for, where you actually get the love and quality attention that you need, that is a much better choice. We can drive ourselves crazy thinking about what's going to change this year. We were just talking about this if you were on with us earlier today, just saying like, hey, COVID changed a lot. Hey, Zoom and all of our lives have just changed so much over the last couple of years. Are we going to have robot caregivers or like, I don't know, be living in the metaverse? We're going to drive ourselves cuckoo bananas asking that question. I think the better question to ask is what's not going to change? Because no matter how hard we try to stop it, guys, I'm pretty sure that we're all aging or know someone who is. Okay. When money gets tight, that vacation to La Jolla goes away. You don't say, hey, mom, you can't live in the care home this month. That doesn't go away. When someone needs care and assistance, they need it and they need it now. It's not, hey, dad, hold on. Interest rates are a little funky. Can you just wait until the market looks better? No, 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 no. You guys, this is happening and it happens quick. I don't know about you, but for me, our journey began with a phone call. My grandmother fell and broke her hip, and the doctor called and basically said she cannot go home alone. Who is coming to pick her up and take care of her? And in that moment, in that flash, our entire lives changed. Who's going to quit their job and go take care of grandma full time? Or are we going to get an in-home caregiver to come one-on-one and care for her and take care of her in that way? Or do we put her into a home? And as soon as you say it, you kind of feel sick to your stomach. You promised you wouldn't. You said you'd never. You're trying to avoid it at all costs. But what are the options? That's the exact scenario we found ourselves in with my grandmother. And it was so disheartening. We went to visit every assisted living in her area, and they smelled worse than the next. The food was bad, the care was bad. They were expensive, and they had waiting lists. And in that moment, we realized that there had to be something better. My dad had been a real estate investor for over 30 years up to that point, and he did quick math and said, wait, 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 wait. We're going to pay 5, 6 grand a month for her to live in one of these homes, or we could own it. She could live for free and we could be cash flowing. Let's get involved. And he always used to say, I guarantee you're going to get involved in senior housing one way or the other. Either someday you will be lying in the bed or writing the check for someone who is, or you could be owning the real estate, operating the business, having a place to go, cash flowing, and being that solution for your loved ones when they need that care. One way or the other, we're all getting involved, you guys. Today, I want to share with you the 5 keys to success. And then for those of you who are on the line who are a little bit more passive in your investing, I want to show how you can become a preferred real estate provider, just being on the real estate side of residential assisted living. Who am I and why should you listen to me? Kendall gave me a great introduction. I was named top senior housing influencer. I own and operate 3 care homes. I'm the lead educator at RAL Academy, and I'm a 2 times best-selling author, and I host 2 different podcasts. I absolutely love assisted living. I learned about this industry through my father. He was just the man, the myth, the legend, known as the godfather of residential assisted living, featured in magazines, newspapers, TV programs, and hundreds of books and podcasts on this topic. But what meant the most to me was when Robert Kiyosaki pointed at him from across the room and was like, "Hey, that's the RAL guy." And he ran over to my dad and he's like, "Gene, tell me everything. I want to know about this industry because my wife, Kim, she wants to get involved. I'm getting older. What do we do?" They became fast friends on the Real Estate Guys radio show Cruise. And Robert's come to many of our events over the years because him and his wife did start investing. They invested over $100 million in a big box facility down the road from me in Scottsdale, Arizona. You guys, we know Robert in the Little Purple Book, and it's all about using real estate to get out of the rat race. You do not have to invest $100 million. Okay. That's him. That's how he likes to play. That's what he wants to do. But we're here to talk about you. How much do you need to cover the house, the car, the kids, the food, the fun? I mean, all in. If you had this dollar amount coming in every night, you could spend time with who you want, donate to what you want, live where you want, invest in what you want. Got that number? Okay. I'm blessed to share on this topic all across the country. And the number one response that I get is about $10,000 a month. If you had 10K a month coming in, you could just take that deep breath, spend time, right? Donate, live, whatever it is. And listen, if your number's more than that, if it's 2 times that or 3 times that, that's a-okay. Because just one residential assisted living home can get you to that number. So if you need 2 or 3 times, we're talking 1, 2, or 3 properties. That's it. Not hundreds of doors, not thousands of units. No, 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 no. 1, 2, or 3 single family residents. That's it. There's really 4 ways you can get started in RAL. First is you could buy an existing business. There's 30,000 group homes that exist across our country today, and there may be one for sale in your area. You buy the real estate, buy the business, you're up and running, cash flowing right away. That's a great way to get involved. The second way we show you how to get involved is to buy a single family home and convert it to become an RAL. This is what most people's mind goes to when they think I'm starting in this industry. You're buying a home, you're going to renovate it, convert it, and now you're going to start a business in that home. Amazing. The third way you can get involved is to buy land and custom build from the ground up. I love this for our students who are in states where you're allowed to have more than 10 residents. You see, depending on where you live, you're going to be allowed to have somewhere between 6 and 16 residents in the home. So if it's more than 10, it's going to be hard to find a single family that is suitable for that. So custom building is an excellent choice. Number 4 is leasing a home to use for this. You can play either sides of the coin. You own the real estate and lease it to an operator, or you don't have the capital to buy and rent real estate, so you lease from someone who's done that. Both of these are great ways to get involved. But why did we choose residential assisted living? Well, we saw this demographic trend. We saw the unstoppable silver tsunami of seniors. We noticed that this is something that's going to last for the next 20 plus years. And it's something that we're not going to get out without touching, right? Where it's going to affect all of us. So it seemed like if it's going to affect us and I'm going to have to deal with this anyways, why don't I take control of the situation instead of letting the situation happen to me, right? It was just that mind switch of saying, huh, that's interesting. If we're going to do this, then why not? Let's actually really do it, right? Meg the Stallion went back to Texas Southern University to learn how to open an assisted living facility. Why is a rapper getting involved in senior housing? You tell me. Tyler Perry launched a TV show called Assisted Living. He's bringing it to mainstream media. He knows and understands that this is going to be part of the American household conversation, and he wants to be a part of that conversation. I love it. Jimmy Buffett opened Margaritaville themed retirement communities before he passed. That is pretty cool. Like, I'm not even the biggest fan, but yes, sign me up to sip spicy, skinny margaritas until my last day. That sounds amazing in the sunshine, of course. You know, when we talk about the different options for single family home, obviously you can do a fix and flip. You buy a home, you renovate it, you sell it. You make that money one time. As soon as you sell it, you're out of the job. You've got to go get another one and do it again, and another one and do it again. And that sure looks like the rat race to me. You know, rental homes, Kendall and I were just talking about this before, you guys were jumping on. Rental homes at a couple $100 a month, you're going to need a lot of doors to get to your freedom number. And each door comes with tenants, toilets, potentially unpaid rent, and drama. Okay, if the roof goes out, if the floor needs repair, if the AC breaks, that is your whole year, if not 2+ years worth of profit, you guys. You can be wiped really quickly. It's a long-term strategy and it's a numbers game. You need hundreds of doors to get to your goal. Group homes. You know, some of you have a heart for those who have clean, sober recovery needs, developmentally disabled adults, battered women, foster kids who've aged out of the system, whatever it may be. Group homes are an excellent way to cash flow $1,000 a month or more and serve a population that is calling to you, that needs you. So if that's where your heart's going, go that way. Airbnbs. Listen, I think if this was 20 years ago, it would have been a great thing to invest in. But now you've got companies like Marriott coming in, buying up entire neighborhoods, turning them into Airbnbs, and they have more money, power, and resources than the solopreneur like you and I. You also have cities like Honolulu, Scottsdale, Nashville, Atlanta, Phoenix, basically shutting down the Airbnb owners, making it almost impossible for them to cash flow. If I had one single family home and I had to decide what to do with it, it makes a whole lot of sense to turn it into an RAL where the cash flow is like 10K a month on not that great of a home. I really like to show low numbers so that you can be blown away when you actually get into this. But Proverbs says, he who doesn't look ahead remains behind. And I think that if any crisis comes, the wealthy people are the ones who look at the crisis and say, what's the opportunity? How do we get out of this on top? How do we figure this out that we can actually benefit from this crisis? Hear me loud and clear. This will be a mega crisis in our country. Y'all, we are 1.3 million beds short. They're only adding 70,000 beds per year. We have a massive gap in supply and demand, and we are doubling the amount of seniors who are coming into this industry. There's not enough room in the inn. Okay. If you're thinking, well, I'd never put my loved one in a home, I'm going to do in-home care. I promised it. I'll do it. Okay. In-home care, average cost right now in our country is $34 an hour. 34 times 24 hours a day times 30 days in the month. That's over $24,000 plus the mortgage and the lease, utilities, cable, activities, medication, you name it. We're talking 25, 26K to keep your loved one at home every single month. Most people can't afford that. So then they say, well, I don't need 24/7 coverage. I just need someone to watch her or him while I go to work, and I'll take nights and weekends. Okay. Say goodbye to book club, wine club, golf, church, poker night, your kid's soccer game, PTO meeting. Adios. Because if your loved one needs care, they need it and they need it now. It's not, hey, mom, jump in the car. We're going to Johnny's soccer game. No, 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 no. It's painful for them to get out of bed, let alone go sit in the car, you walk, sit in the bleachers for 2 hours. It's not happening, you guys. Average cost of care in our country today, they just released the new numbers, and it's 5,900 on average in our country per person per resident. What is residential assisted living? Simply, it is a group home for seniors that provides assistance with the residents' ADLs, activities of daily living. Think bathing, toileting, eating, getting up out of a chair, what they call transferring, right? Brushing your hair, brushing your teeth, taking medication. They are not moving in for funsies. They are moving in because they need help with 3 to 5 ADLs. They are no longer safely allowed to live at home alone. They need support. It's not a Brookdale. It's not a Sunrise. It's not a commercial facility that has long hallways and impersonal staff where they call you by your room number. You guys, I only know one other place that humans are called by numbers. And I don't want to end up there, and I don't want to end up there either. Okay. It's also not Golden Girls, for mature women living in a home together who need minor help with landscaping or changing a light bulb. That's not what this is. That's independent living. Okay. We're talking about residential assisted living. These are residential homes in a regular single family neighborhood, typically single level. If you're going to do multi-level, you need to add in a chairlift or an elevator. They look like homes because, surprise, they are homes, right? They've got bedrooms and bathrooms. They've got kitchens and living rooms, dining rooms. They're literal homes. Next door is mom, dad, two kids, and a dog. They're in a regular residential neighborhood, an upscale neighborhood, but still a regular residential neighborhood. Inside, the floors are smooth and clean. The furniture is age appropriate. The bedrooms have beds, dressers, nightstands, tables and chairs, just like you or I may have in our own rooms. And the bathrooms, they have ramps, guardrails, handrails, things to keep the seniors safe. It doesn't need to be ADA compliant, but you want it as close to that as possible. Who's living in the home? None other than our adorable seniors just living out their golden years. And I love to share this photo because for those of you who have loved ones in a big box community, you've probably never seen a scene like this. And it's not because those caregivers don't care and ours magically do. It's because ratios. The ratios are set up to fail the seniors and the caregivers. You guys, in a large community, the caregivers are responsible for 30 seniors to one caregiver. In our homes, it's 4-1 or 5-1. If you're getting paid the same, which job do you want? Talk about caregiver turnover. It is so much less in the RAL world than it is in the assisted living big box world. They get to actually love on and care for these seniors, to celebrate them, to get to know them, to respect them, to feed them, to care for them. Like they get to do the job they signed up to do. And listen, we go hard in our homes, whether it's Mardi Gras, birthday, holiday, you name it, we go hard, baby, because they deserve the best of the best in their last years of life. Our company motto is to do good and do well because you guys, the reality is there are so many ways that you can make money in today's world, but also in real estate. Like really, there are. But how many of them make you feel good about what you're doing? Not many. For any of my landlords here on the line, any of you ever received a check for 6 grand from one of your tenants wrapped in a love letter? Bueller? Bueller? I've asked this question for years, and no one ever says, "Oh my God, me, my tenants love me." They give me huge checks and they say, "Thank you, thank you, thank you for providing us amazing housing." Never. But in RAL, you guys, you get that every single month. They're grateful. They say, "Thank you for providing housing for my dad. Thank you for loving on my mom. Thank you for allowing me to be a daughter or son once again. Thank you." With a big fat check inside of that thank you. It's like best of both worlds. But what do you want? Do you want to feel good about your investments? Do you want to be proud of the work that you do? Do you want to have enough income to live the life you've always dreamed of? Maybe stop settling, stop working overtime for not enough pay. Or maybe it's about a legacy. You're like, I am terrified for what is left for my kids, and I want to set something up that I can pass to them and they can have true wealth and appreciating assets. I mean, you were on Protect Wealth this last week for a reason. Clearly, you got something, or else it's not protect broke, it's protect your wealth. So hopefully you got something to leave them. But if not, this could be it. I think that everybody else kind of falls into these categories and is kind of doing the same old thing when it comes to real estate investing. But this is something that, although it's not new in concept, it's new in the shape it's taking. It's new in this form, and people are looking for an alternate option right now. The facts and statistics are there's 76 million baby boomers and 10,000 people turn 65 every single day. 4,000 people turn 85 every day, and 90% of the seniors want to stay in their own homes. They do not want to move into assisted living. But 70%, 7 out of 10 of us, you guys, will need daily care for an average of 3.5 years. That's how long they're staying in your home. It's not a short stay. They need serious assistance, and it's for years. Harry S. Dent, New York Times bestselling author of The Demographic Cliff, said the opportunity of our lifetimes in real estate development and investing is likely to be in nursing homes and assisted living facilities. I want you to hear from him himself.
Yeah, so what Jane's in charge of is this organization called Residential Assisted Living. In your opinion, is that the best real estate play to be in?
It is, because I always tell people, because the baby boom was so large, everything they do as they age is the best sector. People say millennials, there's more millennials. Well, they're not as big a wave. They're a fraction of the wave. So what assisted living and nursing homes do, they play the last stage of the baby boomers, the largest generation in history, and nobody sees it coming. Nobody.
No, we do.
You do. Nobody sees. I bring this up and people say, Harry, what are you smoking? Oh, the baby boomers already retired. They're already in assisted living. No, they're just starting.
Yeah.
In
Oh, yeah.
2018.
Oh, yeah.
They got 26, 28 years of nonstop growth.
Yeah.
Nothing will grow faster and nobody will see it coming.
Pretty cool to see them sitting around talking about that. You've got Harry S. Dent, Robert Kiyosaki, my father, the late Gene Guarino, and they're chatting at our assisted living conference, which Dawn and Kendall come to every year. It's such an amazing event, but truly they're seeing what's coming up ahead, and it's exactly what we're talking about here tonight. I'm sure right about now some myths and misconceptions are popping up in your mind. So let's just address them and get it out of the room, right? Do you have to work in the home? No. Listen, I don't work in my homes. You do not have to work in yours. There are other people who teach and train on this topic who will show you how to live in the home, work in the home, care for the seniors yourself. Not what I do, not what I want to show you how to do. I want to show you how to build a business that you can work on, not in, that you're hiring the licensed appropriate staff because someone's got to work in it, right? Someone's got to care for those seniors, but it doesn't need to be you. So setting up systems and hiring correctly allows for that to happen. Liability, though, isn't it going to be through the roof? Nope. It's about $2 to $3 per resident per day. It's a line item. With 10 residents in a home, $900 a month. You got to have it. You need to have it. I'm going to encourage you to have it, but it's nothing to break the bank over. Okay. You can't find good employees. Ooh, these are fighting words. Okay. We just talked about the employee experience of a big box versus a smaller care home, and it's an entirely different experience. But more than that, I'm going to set that aside for 2 seconds. If you own a business and you have problem with turnover and keeping staff, sometimes it's time to look at the employer and say, what am I doing to not curate the experience that they signed up for? Where's the disconnect between the job description and then why they're leaving me here? Take some onus on yourself and say, how do I love them better? How do I appreciate them more? How do I give back more? Because the moment you focus all your effort, your love, your attention on them, trust and believe they take way better care of your seniors and everything becomes easier. It's like the secret tip of being a business owner. Take care of your staff and they'll take care of the rest. Okay. So don't tell me I can't find good employees. I'm going to ask you how good of an employer you are being, because to me, it's all about really you and it starts at the top. Do you need medical experience? You do not, but if you are a medical professional, you can use that as a feather in your cap, meaning you can have a doctor-owned home, a nurse-owned home. That's sexy. That attracts residents. I'm not going to market my home, real estate investor-owned home. Like no one's going to move their mom into my home if I market it that way, okay? But if you have that medical professional, you can use that as part of your marketing. I love it. You don't need it, but if you have it, use it, baby. HOAs won't let me do this. Not true. Because of the Federal Fair Housing Act, we are a protected class. Listen, that is a federal law. So any city, state, angry neighbor, or HOA cannot tell you no. We have students in all 50 states who have care homes who are doing this all across the country. It is absolutely possible. Now, can an HOA still say no? Yeah. But are they going to win? No. We also created the REL National Association that protects all 30,000 group home owners across the country. So if you run into trouble, who are you going to call? Not Ghostbusters. You're going to call the REL National Association, okay? And they will help you out and they will get that figured out for you. If you can avoid the HOA, if there's two neighborhoods, one have it, one doesn't, go to the one that doesn't, okay? Why choose a problem? Go to the one that doesn't, but they can't stop you. Last one, seniors can't afford this. Just not true. And I'm going to show you exactly how they do and also which seniors we're targeting so that we're in the right neighborhoods. At the end of the day, it's a single family home that's used to cash flow better than most other opportunities you've seen. So what are the 3 smartest options for you to participate in? Well, first, you could own the real estate and lease it to the operator. This is why what we call being the preferred real estate provider. You're going to buy the home and fully renovate it, get it ready for assisted living. Widen hallways and doorways, add bedrooms and bathrooms, ramps, guardrails, handrails, sprinkler systems, elevators, whatever is needed in that particular home to get it up to code. And because you've done that, someone's willing to pay you up to 2 times the fair market rent. Why? Well, because you just did all the work. You just saved them so much time. Now they get to come in and just start their business. So they're willing to pay you more for that. This is also a long-term tenant, meaning they're signing a 3, 5, 8, 10, or 12 year. I have a friend here at this event I'm at right now who has a 12-year contract with someone who's leasing the home from him. He gets percentage increases every year. The person has an option to renew and an option to purchase at the end. But for 12 years, he doesn't have to go check on them, nothing. That is incredible, you guys. Now, when I say low impact tenant, what I mean is no teenagers punching holes in the wall, no pit bulls being bred in the living room, motorcycles being dissected in the dining room. We all have had the horror stories. That's not what this is. It's a 24/7 open for care business, and you have 24/7 awake staff. So your caregivers at night, they're cooking, they're cleaning, they're making sure the house is beautiful. I mean, my care homes are immaculate. I wish my personal home could be as immaculate. Okay. So that's a great way for you to get involved just on the real estate side. But you could also own the real estate and operate the business. This is what we do, and it's what most of our students choose to do because in this scenario, you control it all and you make the most money. When I show you in just a moment the numbers, this will be the category I'm referring to, category number 2. Okay. Number 3, some of you have deep pockets and you're saying, I don't want to own the real estate. I don't want to invest, in the operations of this. No, 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 no. I just want to lend to someone who's going to go do this and get my returns. Amazing. If that's you, you're an accredited investor and you want to work with someone, that's a beautiful way for you to get a great return and still invest in an industry that needs opportunity and it needs money too. So love that. So how much money can you make? I know everybody's coming in from all across the country. So we've got to ask the question, how much does assisted living cost? Now, this website is a great one. You can go to carescout.com and make sure you do the /cost of care. Okay. So go to this site. And when you go there and you look at the cost of care, you are going to find what the average rate in your area is. We know that we said that $5,900 is the US average, but what about where you live? Well, the top most expensive places in our country today, right now, drum roll, please. Hawaii, tippy top, $11,311 on average per person. Alaska, over $10,000. Washington, D.C., $9,600. We've got Massachusetts, Connecticut, Delaware, New Jersey, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, and I threw in California, $7,350. These are the average prices. So I need you to remember this includes our friends on government funding as well as our private pay friends. Government funding, depending on your state, usually is about $1,800 up to $2,500 per person. So if some people are paying $2,500 and others are paying $20,000, that's how we're getting an average of $11,000 in Hawaii. Make sense? All 50 states are listed on that site. You could take a quick screenshot if you want to look at this one. You're looking at the furthest right-hand column, that kind of babyer blue column. The furthest right-hand column is the column we're looking at right there. Now, I know Kendall and Dawn are in Utah, so I wanted to break down Utah. Utah is a little bit lower than the US average right now. So their average rate for assisted living is $4,685. Not bad. It's reasonable, but that's what Utah's average is. Salt Lake is the most expensive right now at basically $5,400. Then we've got St. George, not surprising, right? Logan, Provo, and I'm probably saying this wrong, but Ogden, Kendall, if I'm saying it so wrong, you're going to have to correct me. But I will say this, you guys, this does not mean if you love mom, you move her to Salt Lake, and if mom didn't love you, you move her to Ogden. Like, no, if you live in St. George, mom or dad is probably coming to St. George. It's wherever you, the adult child, live, eat, work, sleep, play. Okay. If you had one RAL home providing you $10,000 a month, would you be more confident and secure knowing that you could actually pay your bills and stay in control? Would you be more comfortable knowing you had a place when someone in your life needs assistance and care? Or would you be more fulfilled knowing that you're actually making a mark in the world, making an impact, being someone of significance to really help people? It's not just success, it's not just wealth, it's that significance. If that's you and you're tracking with me, then stick around because we're going to dive into the numbers and it's going to get juicy. So here we go. I wanted to go with something very, very average. Okay. So 5,900 is our US average. I'm going even lower than that just to prove a point to you guys. This is very average. 5,500 times 10 residents. Like we said, we can have somewhere between 6 and 16 in the home, depending on where you live. That would be bringing us in $55,000 every single month gross. But there are a lot of expenses in this industry. Okay. Now I have two numbers at bottom. One number is if you are going to be the candlestick maker, the cook, and the baker. You're going to live in the home, work in the home, do everything yourself, okay? Not what we do, not what I want to show you how to do. The other column is when you are going to hire those licensed appropriate people to run that business for you. So let's go back to our example and put in our overhead right there. Debt service, can we get a pretty nice home in most parts of the country for $10,000 a month? Yeah, in most parts of the country, that will do us really well. That's leaving us with $120,000 a year or 10K of monthly net income on a very average home right there. All right, I got to say this. When we were visiting these homes for my grandma, you guys, every home I went into that was like an average home, I did not want to leave my goldfish, let alone my beloved little granny there. All right. So I'm sitting here. It's a Tuesday night. It's 9 p.m. I'm on the East Coast right now. It's 9 p.m. I'm pretty sure that an average person isn't on a webinar right now learning how to invest in themselves, take it to the next level, make their life better, improve, make more money. The average person's watching White Lotus right now. They're on Netflix. They're watching the game. They are chilling out. They say, my brain's tired. I'm not going to move forward. You are not average at all. You just spent 3 days learning how to protect your assets, growing, challenging yourself. And now you're here for more. You are even more above average than everyone who was just with you for those 3 days. Like, soak that in for a second. But in that regard, you probably don't do things average either. And you probably wouldn't accept average. Because when I went to those average places, I said, this is not for my granny and this is not for me. I'm not average. I want to do something above average, something nicer. So maybe that's you too. I'm assuming it is you because you're here. So let's say we said it was $6,700 times those same 10 residents bringing in $67,000. Our expenses stay the same because it's the same 10 residents. It's our debt service that goes up. Right? We put in $12,000 a month for our debt service right there because it's a better home in a better part of town, a bigger lot, nicer neighborhood, whatever it is. That's now bringing us in $20,000 every single month or $240K a year. That's a game changer. One home bringing you in $20K a month. That's nice. Not 20 homes bringing you in $1,000 each, right? Or 100 homes bringing you in $200 each. No. One home bringing you in $20,000 a month. I have multiple students all across the country doing these numbers. I was just in Las Vegas with one of our students snowing out in Wisconsin. He's got 2 homes. One cash flows him 20, the other cash flows him 20, $40,000 a month on 2 homes. He's 29 years old. 29 years old, and he's making $40,000 a month on 2 homes. But then I have students like Brian out in New Jersey, who has a luxury care home, charging $8,000 a month times his 15 residents, bringing in $120,000 every single month. His overhead here does increase because it's not 10, it's 15. So we need to pay for more care, more food, more electricity, more cable, more, you name it. Plus, it's luxury If they want lobster and cheesecake, they get it, baby. If they want Hulu and HBO, we're throwing in Netflix for free. Whatever they want, they get. Debt service on this is going to cost us a pretty penny. I put in $20,000 a month right there on that. But this one home bringing him in $40,000 every single month or $480K a year. Y'all, I have friends who make $40,000 a year, and I also have students who make $40,000 a month. There's no difference between those two humans in my life except what's between their two ears. That is what stops or starts us from doing anything in life, is your belief in yourself, your willpower, your grit, your discipline. That's what will take you to the next level. You know, we don't just show you how to do this once. We actually show you how to have a 3-pack, 3 homes within 20 to 40 minutes of each other. Because if you're going to do this, then why not really do it? But also, if you're going to do it, I want you to be able to share your resources. I want to go through the 5 keys to success, and then I want to share with you an opportunity for you to take action and start learning how to open your first care home right now, today. You can literally get started today. Okay. So what are those 5 steps to get started? Number 1, location. Okay. You cannot do anything in real estate without focusing on location. But when it comes to RAL, it's about density, demand, and demographics. This is not, if you build it, they will come. No, 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 no. You have to do your internal feasibility study to determine that it's the correct demographics and there's enough demand in that area and there's density to come. The area we're looking for is where the majority population is 50 to 70 years old, making 2 times the median income. They're homeowners, they're college grads, okay? That is the area we want to be. Now, that's kind of our sweet spot. We do not want to leave Granny in the ghetto. All right. If you are scared to drive there at night, if you go, look, when you pull up to the red light, do not open your care home there. If you're scared, she's scared. No, 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 no. But you also don't need to go to the most high-end place in town where you also may be equally uncomfortable because it's like manicured lawns and guard-gated neighborhoods and it's really prestigious and it's like, that's too much. Okay, we don't need to go there. We want to stay in the sweet spot, level 3, 4. Financially, that looks like this. If 5,900 is the US average, anything charging less than that is below average. We want you to be in level 3, 4, that sweet spot right there. I know level 5 looks nice. Ooh, 9 to 12K per person. Sign me up, baby. But pause. Look at the shape of the chart. It gets smaller at the top. Your opportunity zone starts to shrink. So I want you to keep that in mind. I want you to bear that in mind. Donald and Talinda, when they came to class, we gave them the roadmap to success, a step-by-step plan so that they knew exactly after the training what to do first, next, and then after that. And so they could follow their way to their success. They said, thank you to the RL Academy. It's been amazing, the support we've received from you guys. We wouldn't have been able to make this journey without you. They opened a 12-bed memory care home out in Kansas. Absolutely beautiful. I love those red doors. It's just so cool to see this come to fruition. Number 2 is your team. You know, you are not it. In so many other forms of real estate investing, you can be it. But with RAL, no, you have to build your team. This is Mariella and my sister Victoria. Kendall was with us at this event, actually. And that was like the first time I'd seen Mariella in person because we do all of our meetings on Zoom because I don't go visit my home. You know, 31% of care homeowners are remote owners. Live where you want, invest where makes sense. You don't even have to own a home in the area you live. My homes are like 45 minutes down the road from me, so I don't go very often. I hadn't seen her like I said, I've seen her virtually every week on our meeting, but not in person in a while. So I'm like, we got to take a picture. I haven't seen you in forever. So that's Mariella. She runs all of our care homes. She's absolutely incredible. And that's what we show you how to do, how to build that licensed administrator to do exactly what you need and want them to do. So they manage the property, the tenants, AKA your residents and their families. And they're also managing the caregivers, hiring, firing, training, retaining, all that good stuff. The systems and your team is what can really set you apart. Dean out in Georgia, he said, I never thought I would own an RAL, but I had to make a plan for my partner and myself. We're now cash flowing like we never imagined, leaving a legacy for our children and having a lot of fun in the meantime. His home, he has 2 homes actually out there, and they're absolutely beautiful. You know, I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't give you the same opportunity that I gave to Dean, which was a probability calculator, so that when he looked at deals, he could plug them in and see hey, is this good? Hey, is this bad? Should I move forward with this or not? How do I take action here? That helped him with speed to success, that profitability calculator. Number 3 is your clients. You know, the resident is not your client. I've mentioned a couple times today who is the client, and it's not the little granny grandpa who's in the home. It is daughter Judy. It is son Bob. It is the adult child who comes with the resident. They are the ones making all of the decisions up to that point of saying, where should mom or dad go? What amenities do they want? Where are they going to be best suited? That is who you are targeting. Remember, I said earlier, 90% of seniors don't want to move into your home. So if you spend one marketing dollar on the senior, it's like taking a dollar and burning it in the trash can, literally. It's a waste of your money. You have to speak the language and communicate to and market to daughter Judy. She's the one hunting, and she's the one who has very different concerns and fears and things that need to be addressed than maybe what mom or dad would be searching for or would be looking for. Ogita, she said, thank you, Rala. My family opened 4 homes since we took your course. She took our online home study course. She was going to school to be a nurse, dropped out, did this course, and now they own 4 care homes out in Florida. Absolutely amazing. Mitch and Jen, they said, our vision is to open 100 luxury REL homes, build a great reputation for REL in our community. We're excited to be at the right place at the right time. They're on home number 28, y'all. Nothing is stopping you from opening 1, 2, 3, 10, 28, 100 of these. You can do it. It's absolutely possible. Number 4 is getting paid. Do not focus on Medicaid residents, focus on private pay residents, and make sure you're maximizing LTC insurance. So how do people pay for this? Most are going to pay with Medicare, subsidized by the VA. It's called aid and attendance, or 10% of the population has long-term care insurance, so they'll be using that. But majority of people use their cash, their IRAs, their savings, their investments, or they sell their physical home and use that capital to pay for their care. Of course, there's my last category of seniors who say, I'm going to let the kids figure it out. Yikes. If you have not had these conversations with your loved ones, it is probably time. Okay. Because if you are the responsible one, if you are the wealthy one, if you are the one, then they're going to be coming to you during this time saying, where do we go? What do we do? And if you don't have a plan, the plan will be made for you. And I promise you, you're not going to like it. So it's time for you to start preparing. You know, Walt, he wanted to prepare. He didn't trust that his kids were going to take care of him in the way he wanted. So he custom built his own RAL, right? Exactly how he wanted it. 10 bed, 10 bath, floor to ceiling TVs where you could listen on the headphones and kind of ESPN zone vibes of all the different games. He had like the biggest fish tank I've ever seen. It was amazing. He built what he wanted and moved in and literally cash flowed and lived for free until the day he died. That is insane. Like, that is such an amazing game plan. But when we met him, we were like, you're the OG, you are the legend. Come tell us what we are missing out on. And he said, I've been in the business for over 15 years. And in the 3-day class, I learned how I was leaving over $15,000 a month on the table. That's over $2 million during those 15 years. I felt sick to my stomach, but grateful to find out too. You guys, if you are in this industry or know someone who is, and they're not cash flowing the way I'm talking about, maybe they need to do the training with you. Maybe you need to do the training to 10x your business, to say, what can I do to systemize and to leverage this? If it's already going, let's just make it better. Let's make it better. It comes down to systems at the end of the day. Systems save you time, energy, and money. And if you are type A like me, then you know systems are critical for success. It's all about, how do we team build? How do we identify, train, and retain the best of the best staff? How do we find the real estate? And some of you are pros at this: location, acquisition, renovation. But what are those minor nuances with RAL? And then funding. Some of you are thinking, this sounds amazing, but how the heck am I going to fund it? Right? And that's okay if that is your question, because listen, we show you 7 ways to fund your RAL, but there's so many beautiful opportunities for creative capital raising, whether it is through syndication, private money, SBA 7A, or SBA 504 loans. There are so many ways to fund these deals. And the reality is, you guys, there are a lot of people who are getting a whopping 0% on their money right now sitting in the bank or their IRA. And if you could offer them 12 to 15%, they would be thrilled to partner with you. It's all about positioning, and it's all about the presentation. But partners, it's important for you to know you can't go at this alone. If you are a DIY till the day you DIE, you got to be careful in this because this is all about team building. This is all about how do we strategically partner with people to fill these beds, to get the best staff, to move forward in this industry. So partners are going to be your key to success. Operations, think of this as the documents you need within your home to be successful. Policies and procedures, emergency plans, schedules, menus, all those different things that you'll need to get licensed through the state. Carla Lee, she said, I took the course in February. I had a business in July. I spoke with others in my area, and for many of them, it took years to get their doors open because they didn't have the support I had. She opened 9 homes in less than 3 years, you guys. Sean, he said, I opened my first home just a couple months after finishing the course. He took our online home study course. He said, my 3rd home's up and running, and now I'm working on my 4th. Hallelujah. I quit my corporate job and I got the Maserati I've always dreamed of. I love that. Listen, some of you, your goals is to send the kids to college. Others of you, it's to get that dream vacation house. Some of you, it's to get the boat, the Maserati, the whatever it is. No judgment. Others of you want to give away $1 million, right? The cool thing about making crazy money is you can do whatever you want with it. You can go donate. You can go live it up. You can do all this stuff because when you have money, you can give money. When you have money, you can spend money. When you don't have it, life is a whole lot harder, you guys. Choose your hard, but life's a whole lot harder when you don't. Laura and Mark, they said, we took the course. We have 3 homes up and running. Thank you for the support, resources, and encouragement along the way. I can go through success story after success story, but the real question is, will you be the next success story? You know, you always have 3 choices in life. You can have a Men in Black moment and just like, flash, forget everything we talked about. Just keep living your life, keep doing you. And listen, when you need a bed, I've always got one for you. Okay. 2, you can say, I don't need you, lady. I'm going to go to YouTube University and figure it out on my own. And if that is you, I'm also going to say good luck. Okay. 3, some of you are saying this sounds just like me and I want to move forward. I want to do that. And if that's you, then stick with me here. Today, we got to go through the 5 keys to success in residential assisted living. We got to talk about the 4 ways that you can start investing in this and the 3 smartest options for you to participate. We went through how you can become a preferred real estate provider. And I showed you numbers on homes that are making $10,000, $20,000, even $40,000 a month. You know, you've heard me talk about our course and our online training. And because we're meeting here virtually today, I thought that this might be a really good fit for some of you who like to learn virtually. We have live trainings, but this virtual training is really a step above the rest. It's an incredible course that has 11 modules and 46 sections altogether. It's a virtual course. You get lifetime access. You can take it as many times as you want, go back and review the materials. There's transcripts and quizzes along the way to check for comprehension. And there's an area for you to ask me questions. So every morning I log in and I answer all of your questions. I love that. I love the Q&A portion of it. We cover everything in this course. We start with RAL 101. We're going through the opportunities and the blueprint. We dive into the next section where we're talking about how to be a private lender, how to be a JV partner, how to scale, how to own and operate, and really just understand all the pieces that you could play in this as an RAL investor. On the real estate section, we're going over safety requirements, what you need in bedrooms, bathrooms, kitchens. If you're going to do a ground up or an addition or remodel, all of those things, we got to cover them. Location, best and worst, how to identify it, and then the rating system for your area. It's going to be important for you to know. The business section, this one really sets us apart. We're breaking down what you need in the documents, the licensing, the staffing, the independent contractors versus employee, and then the timeline so you know if you're falling short or not. The funding section is also going to be really important. What is a capital stack look like in this industry? Who are the lenders we're dealing with? How do we reposition assets? What do we need in our business plan? What does the pro forma look like? All the terms and definitions. There is a lot here, you guys. The cash flow section's next, breaking down all of the expenses on what this actually looks like so you can anticipate what is to come, and then going through case studies. You're not going to learn the cash flow component in a book. Okay, you've got to learn this from the best. The people have been doing this for literally, we've owned our homes for 14 years. We've been training people for 10 years. We have students in all 50 states. We gather all of the data from across the nation and say, what are you paying on your homes? And we re-release the expenses every year. So this is literally nationwide average data on what people are actually paying for all the different things in their care home. It's important for you to have that up-to-date information. And with the home study course, you get lifetime access. So when we release a new edition, you get it, which is pretty amazing. Purchasing an RAL. Some of you want to choose that as one of your 4 methods, and you're going to need to know the top 10 factors to consider. You're going to need to know how to expand the business, how to value the business, and then the pros and cons. Should you do that or not, right? Marketing. How are you going to set yourself apart? How are people going to find you? How to fill your home, name your home? What do you need on your websites? Advertisement and community involvement. Marketing is going to be big. Operations is next, setting up that team and pros and cons of taking one over versus starting your own. And then the systems around operations within your team. Last but not least, 10 years training on this. We have a lot of connections and resources. Thousands of companies have come to us over the years to say, we want to work with your students. And we said, great, give them a discount and we'll get you in front of them. We have got literally so many discounts, group purchasing power for you, a national association membership for you, national marketing, all of this stuff available to you because you are a student with us. It's so important. Now, all of this, it's amazing. It will get you down that next step. We know that lifetime access, quizzes along the way, transcripts. It's really the full shebang. You're getting all of that. Typically, if you go to our website right now, it's $14.97. Obviously, I talked to Don and Kendall, want to get you guys the best discount we can. $997 for everybody here today. Kendall will drop a link in the chat and it's super easy. The promo code is already plugged in. We know that you're coming from this event and all you've got to do is go to protectwealth.com/opportunity. When you go there, you could take action, you can move forward with this and you can get access literally tonight so you can wake up tomorrow and start learning, start going forward, make this happen and make this your reality. You know, is $997 worth it if you get a care home that it cash flows you $10K a month for the rest of your life? Heck yeah, that's a good return. I would pay that all day, right? But I do want to give you guys some bonuses. 2 bonuses for taking action. Those of you who take action and move forward. 1, I want to give you the roadmap to success. That step-by-step plan that shows you what to do when you graduate class. So you know what's first, you know what's next, and you're not saying, where do I go? What do I do? No, it's right there for you. We're going to give that to you so that you can breathe easier and you have the plan in your hands and you can go take the learning and bring it to the plan and make it happen, bring it to fruition. Number 2, I want to give you the profitability calculator, a really amazing tool where you're going to plug and play and see if the numbers work or don't work so you can move quickly when you're looking at homes. You can decide if something's going to work or not. That will save you so much time. This is my gift to those of you who take action tonight. One home. You guys, if you had one home, your loved ones, when they need care and assistance, I desperately wish we had this already when my grandma needed care. You know, she passed before we can move her in, but we got the home up and running after that. And it was just one of those things where it was like, dang, like, why didn't we think of this sooner? I don't want you to wait until it's too late. Our mission is to positively impact 10 million people by providing high quality assisted living for seniors in a residential home environment. No more do we have to go into an institutional box where they call us by a number, you guys. No more. I'm on this mission to get as many of these care homes up and running, and I cannot do it alone. Together, we can all be a part of this mission to serve our seniors, to serve our families, and to provide a better living for ourselves and for the kids who are coming after us. You know, today's your chance. And I love that it's /opportunity because I feel like that's what this really is. This is your opportunity. So go take action, go to the link. Thank you for sharing your evening with me. I know it is late, especially for my East Coasters. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I had a lot of fun with you guys. I'm going to see if there is any chats you want me to answer, Kendall.
Bring it on. No, are you good? You want me to ask them or do you got them? You can see
Okay, I just got it off.
And
Okay.
I'll jump in real quick if you don't mind. I'll just say I did throw that in the chat, everybody. So click that link. Dawn and I have both been, for what it's worth, to Isabelle's actual homes. It's fun. It was so amazing to me to go in there and see because my grandma, she stayed in her home, till she passed away, thankfully. But, I have never really had a chance to go in there. I tell you what, it was a good experience. Really well done, really clean, really fun. So Dawn and I actually went in and we're super impressed. You guys do a really good job, Isabel. And we have been to these events and met several of the people. You actually showed up there. We've met several of them. And it's just fun to see how well they're doing. It's a whole different kind of real estate investor. They're investors with heart. And so we love it. So if you feel inclined, I highly, highly recommend it. There is nobody better than Isabel and her team to work with. Truly, truly, what they do is incredible. So anyway, thank you so much, Isabel. We appreciate it. Yeah, if you're okay, let's jump in for a few questions.
Cherie is asking, how do you furnish these regular furniture, hospital beds, or personal furniture? Great question. If they have furniture that they want to bring in, I am okay with anything that's not soft. Bed bugs, it's just not for me. So anything hard, meaning like a dresser, a chair, like something hard, I'm fine with. But we do provide the furniture in the rooms, and so it's like bed, table, dresser, nightstand, stuff like that. But people may come in and they may say, hey, we want to bring mom's dresser, and that's great. And then we'll remove ours. They can bring mom's in, and that's no problem at all. Most of the time, we do not provide hospital beds, but if they want to bring one in, again, that's totally fine. Sandra's asking, how do you fit 10 to 15 people into a single family home? It is not a 3-bed, 2-bath. This is a luxury home in an upscale area. So think 300 to 500 square feet per resident. So with 10 residents, minimum 3,000 square feet, upwards of 5,000. It's going to be very comfortable for them. And you're not going to find a home on the market that's a 10-10. Right? So my 3 homes, they're all now 10-10s, but they started as like a 6-5. One started as a 9-7. One started as like a 5-4, right? And so we converted them, we did additions to make them become 10-10s. Anonymous said, how do you find qualified employees to work in the home? Is there consultation available to assist in establishing ADA and senior compliance and hiring these people? So there's a lot of ways that you can find the employees to work in the home. You can post on job, sites, whether it's Indeed and Craigslist and LinkedIn and all of that. But also there's caregiver training schools, so you can get fresh lists of graduates from them. You can post in local newspapers and publications. You can work with recruiting agencies, in-home agencies, caregiver agencies. There's a lot of different ways that you can hire for this. And there probably are consultants like a caregiving agency that you can work with. And the caregivers are coming to you already trained. So you're not training them. You want somebody with 1 to 3 years of experience, usually minimum. Tracy, what is the average time to make it through all the education and get going? The online course is about 12 hours worth of content. So if you whip through it, you could do it in one day. Most people, it takes them about a week or 2 because they're kind of just going slow and digesting and taking notes along the way. Hi, I would join as a family. Me and my kids would do this together. I love that. That's amazing.
Cool.
The good thing is with the online course, if you want to take it with your kids, you guys will get one login, but you can all log in and kind of take it together. And that way you guys can start this together. Me and my dad did this together. So of course I love a family business, and thank you, Wanda, for bringing your kids into it. I love it. Besides investing in the program, what should we consider for investing? Tamika, great question. So what I would say is it depends on which of the 4 routes you're choosing to get started and where you live in the country. So if you are going to lease a home to use for this, that's going to be your most inexpensive way, right? You're probably going to do some sort of security deposit first month, something like that. So maybe it could range anywhere from 100 to 500, right? Like it totally depends on where you are and what the situation is. If you're going to buy a single family and convert, it's the cost of the real estate, the cost of the reno. If you're adding 3,000 square feet, that's going to cost a whole lot more than somebody who's just like building out a garage, right? And adding one wall. So it really depends on the property in your area and then what you're doing to it. If you are buying land and custom building from the ground up, it's the cost of the land, cost of the build, all that good stuff. Fourth, if you are going to buy an existing, you're paying for the real estate and then you're paying for the business. The business is worth 2 to 5 times the EBITDA. So it's worth what someone's willing to pay. If I'm the seller, I want to sell it at ×5. If I'm the buyer, I want to buy it at ×2. It usually falls somewhere in the 3-4 range, but definitely something to look into. This sounds fascinating. Thanks for all your info. Thank you for being here, Rebecca. Is there any support like a coach to help us if we get stuck? Anonymous, yes. So on that home study course, there's Q&A sections at the bottom of each video. So as you have questions and you need help, you can always submit them there. We do also have coaching and mentorship available once you graduate. If you do want more hand-holding, you want to be able to call us 24/7, like we have all of that available too if you want a little bit more after. Sharon, what's the average upfront investment? So we just kind of answered that. It really ranges on the four and where you're at. Would this model work for a rehab facility? Simone, are you saying if you found a rehab facility, like you have the building and you're saying, could we do this model in that? Or are you saying, can you open a rehab in a single family home? Let me know some clarification on that one. Dawn said, are there zoning issues when you do one of the residents doesn't pay? Oh, okay. Zoning issues. There's two questions here, Dawn. So one, zoning issues. These are traditionally zoned residential. So there's no difference in zoning. Now, certain counties will say it can't be residential. It needs to be zoned mixed use or commercial. That's fine. You either find an area that has that or you get it rezoned. Okay. You can get things rezoned. You can also apply for variances and things of that nature. So there's always workarounds, but most across the country, 90% across the country, you are zoned residential, R1, R2. Okay. What do you do when one of the residents doesn't pay their monthly bill? This is a great question. I love it. Well, I don't love it because it's terrible, but let's be real. This is what happens. If you drop your kid off at daycare and you do not pick them up and they call you and you are nowhere to be found, they will call CPS and you will go to jail. It is child abuse. It's child neglect. The exact same thing happens in a care home. If you drop off granny and you promise and you're signing the paperwork saying, I'm going to pay $7,000 a month, and you ditch them and you never communicate again, you call and they literally go to jail. They are the power of attorney for this senior. It's considered senior abuse, senior neglect. So this is not a tenant landlord agreement. They're signing a residency care plan that's saying, we can only we can only take care of you up to this level. And if you do any of these things, you're immediately out. Now, I am not in the business of putting seniors on the street. What I will say, number one, people who are agreeing to pay $5,000+ a month, they do not abandon their loved ones. If you are in a government funded home, a Medicare, Medicaid type home where people are relying on government funding or they're paying like less than $2,000 a month, you probably will see this situation more. I've never seen it, knock on wood. 14 years of owning my home, helping thousands of people open their homes across the country. None of us have ever had this issue. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen. But in the level that we're doing, it just doesn't really happen, guys. Now, if it did, obviously you call the cops, that person get arrested, and then you would find that senior a home that accepted government funding. So you would just help place them into that home. Okay. So it's really a non-issue. You're not kicking them out. You're like rehoming them. You're finding another suitable place for them. Or if you want to keep them and you want it to be like hey, this is my heart, this is my charity. We love you here. I don't care if you don't pay. I'll take that hit. That's you. It's your business. You can do whatever you want. How do we contact you, Sophia? Well, obviously, if you want to do the course, you can do this, but you can find us on social media at RAL Academy, pretty much anywhere. Happy to be in touch with you there. Sandra, is there any ongoing personal support for students or a community? Yes. So we do have a lot of different opportunities for you. We have coaching after you go through the course, should you want that coaching and mentorship with our team. We've got Facebook groups. We do our assisted living conference every single year. So that's an amazing event where 600 care home owners get together. Dawn and Kendall come. It's just the best, you guys. So there's a lot of opportunity right there. Danny, how many bedrooms does a home need to have? 10 beds? Well, if you are allowed to have 10 residents, then I would say you want as many private bedrooms and private bathrooms for them as you can. So you may not always be able to get 10 in the home. And so maybe you can get 7 or 8 or whatever it is, but you want to do the max of what you can. I'll tell you this. We have a student who is licensed for 16 and they custom built the home with 13 bedrooms. Guess how many residents they have? 13. Because seniors at that age, they do not want to share, you guys. They do not want to share. So as many private bedrooms as you can is going to be better. Also, they pay more for private bedrooms than they do for a shared bedroom, right? So it's the same amount of work, but you're getting paid less when you have shared. So you want private. Is there an in-person seminar instead of the home study course? There is. We do live 3-day trainings, Ben. So if you want to come to that, our next one is April 24th through the 26th. Typically, it is about $5,000, $4,997. If you use promo code PROTECT, which I'll make sure I'll ask the team right now, I will text them right now and just say, can we make sure to get promo code PROTECT up and running? PROTECT promo code for 3-day.
Thanks, Isabel, for doing that. And yeah, that's a great course. Don and I have actually been to that. It's fantastic. So yeah. So you said April, what again was the dates?
April 24 through 26 is the next one. And then there's one in June, there's one in July. But yeah, Ben, I'm going to make sure that the promo code's up for you right now, but use promo code PROTECT so that it gives you that same discount. They just text me on it. So we got that. And then Kendall, will you just drop in the chat just for anybody who does want that RAL3, the number 3 DAY, RAL3day.com is where they can go and use promo code PROTECT if they want that.
Got it.
Thank you. Okay,
Welcome.
Jessica said, is the home study course a state certification course? So no. So you don't need, you as the care home owner are not going to be licensed. So the home study course is going to show you how to run this business. The licenses is on the physical home. The home will have a license. You'll be hiring a licensed administrator and they're hiring licensed caregivers. You don't have a license. It's the home, the admin, the caregivers, right? This course is showing you how to run the business, how to buy the home, how to get the funding, how to do all the things, hire the staff, get all the systems, all that good stuff. So I hope that helps answer that. Simone, do you have age requirements? Interesting. In the home, we do not have age requirements. Our youngest resident was 45. He had Parkinson's. And that is the youngest person we've ever had, but typically that's very rare. Most of the people, average resident, 70% are women, 30% are male, 75% are over the age of 85. So it's Betty White. That's who's moving into your home, right? It's like an older female, typically. How do you handle people who start in home but end up needing more nursing intensive care? Holland, great question. So if someone moves into your home and then they need skilled, okay, she's saying that the promo code is PROTECT NOW. PROTECT NOW, no spaces. Okay, so there we go. That's all set up for you guys. If someone moves into your home and now they need more care, right? About 90% of the seniors will pass in your home. The other 10% may need skilled nursing, which is IVs, gurneys, doctors, medical attention. And if they do need that, you are legally not allowed to keep them. You have to move them into a skilled nursing home. Skilled nursing is about double, if not triple the price. And people usually stay there less than 6 months because they're on their way out to go to heaven or heaven, as I say. So if they need more care, you help move them. Usually that's a doctor conversation and they're just alerting you, the family and the doctor are just alerting you that, hey, they're going to be moving on somewhere else. What are some of the different ways of funding? Great question. SBA 7A, SBA 504, private money, syndication, hard money, bank loans, USDA loans. The list goes on and on, baby. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your guys' names. I'm just trying to pop through this. But HEMA, I don't want a RAL actively. How can I invest in someone who wants one? We have a private lenders list. If you are a accredited investor, then HEMA, let's connect after this because we can add you to that list so that our top tier students can reach out to you after the training and they can kind of offer you their deals and you can see how to invest with them right there. What support does RAL Academy provide besides education? We are an education company, so we provide all the education that you need to get started. But then after that, we have a lot of group purchasing discount power for you. So pretty much every service you're going to need in your business as you're getting started, we're going to have a discount. We're going to have a connection for you. We're going to have a lot of support in that regard. We also have phone and email support, software systems, apps, documents, all sorts of amazing stuff that is available for purchase once you kind of go through that course. Because you got to go through to see, number one, do you really want to do this? And then number two, do you want to just go do it on your own? Because a lot of people say, I just want to go create this on my own. But if you want to pay for speed, we have that available for you. Do you need any business license from your county? So the physical home has a license on it. The licensed administrator, you're hiring them. They're already licensed and the caregivers will be licensed. 3 licenses, but not you. You are not licensed. Jan Ann, occupational therapy assistants, good to look at for employees. Love that. They could be great for this. When you finish your program, do you become RAL certified? You do. You get your RALS certification, so you can add that to your email. You can add that to your LinkedIn everywhere, and that's pretty cool. There we go. Same question. What is the lowest numbers of individuals in a home you've seen be successful? Well, because you're only allowed to have 6 to 16, what I'm going to say is whatever the max in your area is, go for the max. For me in Arizona, the max is 10. So I'm always, all my homes are 10. In Texas, it's 16. You should do 16. In Florida, it's 12. You should do 12. Like you should do what the max is in your area. Now, some of your states, like a Florida, the state may say 12, but your county may say 8. Your county may say 6. Then you have to abide by that rule. Or you move to a different county, different city. Remember, live where you want, invest where it makes sense. You do not have to do this in your backyard. You could do it anywhere. Do you have an on-site medical provider 24/7 or a nurse? We do not. There's caregivers there 24/7. So I guess you could call them a medical provider, but they are not doctors or nurses. This is not medical care. It's a caregiver who helps them with their ADLs and how they're getting about the house. Now, caregivers are allowed to do a lot of things depending on the state. They may be able to pass medication. They may be able to, do wound care and stuff like that. In other places, if you do need a nurse to come over, it's not that you're paying full time for a nurse. She pops by, you pay her for the 1 hour, and she goes to another care home. And she's shared between probably 20 care homes that she just goes and services if and when is needed. Cherie, I have a conversion of a I was planning to do affordable housing, but I'm looking to look into RL said. If you need to chat, you can always schedule a call anytime on our website at ral101.com. You can schedule a call there and I'm happy to chat. Fran, any past students bought a church and converted it to a home? Yes. And this is so popular, you guys. Remember how Kendall and I were talking about like, hey, the world is just changing. Like as the boomers are aging out, we're seeing so many opportunities, whether it's to buy their businesses, buy their homes. I am a churchgoer, okay, but the average age in a church leans older. And there's a lot of churches that their congregations are much older and they are going to start becoming available as pieces of real estate. And there's also a lot of churches that are not making the money that they used to be making. At the end of the day, a church is kind of still a business, guys. And they have to make money to pay the bills and survive, right? So many of them are looking for opportunities. And so we have had quite a few students who their church sent them, or they came and were like, I'm going to go back to my church and say, we need to do this. And either they created a care home next door or on the property or nearby of a church, or they literally took a church building and turned it into kind of an RAL. So there's opportunity everywhere.
That's exciting. Hey, Isabel, I just want to jump in really fast. There's several questions about how long is this promo available? Usually a couple days, right? Because this is a special webinar discount.
Yes. Yes. What do we want to do till Friday?
I think that's fair. I mean, because I know that this is not for all your students. This is a pretty
No.
dang good discount that we do for Protect Wealth. So we always, as you guys know, we do our best to give the best discount that you guys offer. So Isabel, we appreciate that. Really is good. I see several people have already signed up. So jump on it. I think that's fine. If your team can leave it up till then, that's even better than I thought.
Okay, let's do that.
Thank you.
But take action, you guys, so you can get those bonuses. Because I want to make, the more days that go by, you're going to get shiny penny syndrome and a million things are going to pop up. So if you're serious and you want to do this, just jump on it. There's nothing stopping you. You got a great discount. Anonymous said, say you're in Connecticut, ballpark, what's the upfront investment would you look like? It depends which of the 4 routes that you're doing. So remember, you got to choose those 4 routes and then based on your location and what you want to do. How do I advertise my 6-bed rental home to a person who wants to run an ALF? Well, what did you do to it? Did you widen hallways and doorways? Did you add bathrooms, ramps, guardrails, handrails? You got to get it all ready to go, suitable to be licensed for your area. And then it is worth someone paying you 2 times the rent. I didn't just say find a home and get somebody to do it. You got to put in the work. You got to get it ready to go. And then someone will say, wow, I want to use it for this. But coming to events like the Assisted Living Conference, participating in Facebook groups, all that stuff is a great way for you to find partners to deal with. Laura, I've had issues with my own father in assisted living, but won't do ostomy bag because skilled nursing. Is there flexibility to offer what you want to offer? No, it's like a legal thing, Laura. So they're not legally allowed to do that. They only have a level of what they can provide via their license and via what is legally allowed. So if they were to keep him and they're not allowed to do that, they can get in big trouble. So it's not discrimination. It's just they're trying to protect him because there's no one there who knows how to handle that, basically. Simone, a rehabilitation facility. My aunt had to go to a nursing home traditional setup for rehab for fracturing her knee. They treated her as if she was a nursing care person, felt there should have been a separation between the two. Also, the overall care was horrible for both types of patients. Definitely the number scenario. Yeah. Okay, so my actually mother-in-law, she got out of chemo like last month and she had to go to a rehab home and it was a home. So you can do similar things like that. I don't know what the licensing is. I don't know what the staffing is, but you can open technically rehabs in a residential area. Yeah. Simone, do they also have private bathrooms? In my care homes, yes, if you can, that is a great way to do this, but it's not really ideal. If you think about it, personal homes are not set up bedroom, bathroom, bedroom, bathroom. It's not a hotel, right? There's a flow to the home. Some share, some don't. Like I would never do more than 2 people per bathroom. It's so totally okay if they share, but if you can do private, that's great. You just raise the rates even more, which is pretty cool. Tracy, what would be the minimum amount of residents that you would suggest making this investment work well? I'm going to say go to the maximum of whatever you're allowed to have in your area. So if you're allowed to have 10, go to 10, baby. Do not go to minimum. It's the same amount of work for you to open a 6-bed or a 16-bed. And one, you get paid a whole lot more. So don't leave money on the table. Go for the largest one. This is not considered active senior living. Those are everywhere. No, this is considered a residential assisted living. So they need help with 3 to 5 ADLs. It's not independent, it's not active, it's assisted. What type of liability are we looking for in this investment? You're going to get liability insurance that's going to basically protect the residents, the staff, you, the building. You're still having your regular property insurance and things of that nature. And when you guys graduate, that's like the type of resources I'm saying, where I'm saying we connect you with agents who, hey, they work with our students. They know what type of insurance you should get so they can kind of help point you in that direction. Do you do a market survey to check for demand? Yeah. Remember I said you should do an internal feasibility study where you're going to find out how many care homes exist, how many open beds there are, and if there's coming demand. And that's going to determine if an area is right or wrong. That paired with your demographic research is going to tell you if the location is a yay or a nay. So that internal feasibility study is going to be important. Gee, how do you handle when someone goes to heaven? Didn't even think about that. Honestly, it is part of this industry. That is what happens. People graduate, and it is sad, but it is also, and actually, you guys, it's actually such a beautiful thing to be a part of people's life before they transition. You will have some of the best conversations that you've could have ever imagined to have in your whole life. Your heart will open in new ways and be expanded in new ways. Your heart will break in new ways. You will be there for someone who isn't your loved one in their last years of life. And that is something that no one can ever take from you. It is so beautiful. And it actually makes you wake up and treat every single day like it matters. And you will have more vigor, more inspiration, more positivity, more drive in your life for being around these seniors than you could ever imagine. Ever imagine. Wanda says I'm talking too fast. Sorry, I'm from New York. I can't help it. Gemma, will you be assisting with policies and procedures? So that is something we do make available for purchase after the training. So we can help you with documents just like that. We do have 165 different documents that are available for purchase should you want help with that. Caregiving one-on-one with the patient. If you're able to do that, you can, but a 4-to-1 ratio or 5-to-1 ratio is great. One-on-one gets really expensive. What was the offer for the 3-day event? Protect Now is that offer right there. So make sure you use that promo code Protect Now. with the link that Kendall dropped. Or if you want the home study, go to this link. Sorry, we have 2 links. If I would have known you guys wanted that, I would have done them both, but I'm next time I know. How do you notify the surrounding neighbors of your REL house in a neighborhood? Is it required? It probably is not required in your area, but just in a weird case that it is, you just follow whatever they tell you to do. Many times it's like, it has to be posted in the local paper and see if anybody obliges, basically. Sometimes you have to go talk to the 2 neighbors next to you and make sure it's good, but you just talk to them if you have to, and if you don't. You know what I mean? Like, why cause a fight if you don't need to? Do the staff stay on site or go home daily? I do not like live-in caregivers, because if I have to fire you, you are now jobless and homeless. So I really like shift work. We do 8, 10, or 12-hour shifts, and I break that down in the training as well, you guys. These are all great questions. And honestly, all of this is covered way more in depth than I am saying very quickly here. So I'm excited for so many of you guys to get started. The online course is take at your own pace, Wanda. So you get to go through as fast or as slow as you like. It's available to you. As soon as you buy it, it's available to you. And you can start going through and do whatever you want right there. How do long-term care insurances reimburse for the services? It depends on which company that they're working with. Some of them pay the families and then the family pay you, and some of them pay you directly. So it really, it's just dependent on that. I don't know what the discount is. Go to that site, type it in, whatever the Protect Now is. I didn't ask them, but if you go there, you'll be able to find that out. And no issues with parking. The seniors don't drive, so they don't have cars. It's just the caregivers coming and going. So you need 4 to 5 adequate parking spots should be good for a care home. You guys, that was an amazing question. Thank you.
Beautiful. I love that. Yeah, kudos, Sharon. I love that. It's so great. Isabel, thank you. Kudos. Everyone loved your answer. I think it's actually a really amazing opportunity, like you said, to be around people who, they're, like you said, graduating, and they are so full of zest, so many of them. And I've read a lot about that, and met a lot of people in that. And what they basically say is, who work, caregivers, what they do is they work with them and they say, I have just been so inspired. These people inspire me. They make me happy. They're like family. That's the coolest part about working with your people, is they legitimately care, have a heart. That's what Don and I love the most. It's a good opportunity, and it's not soulless. You're helping people. You can do good and do well, as you say. I love that so much, Isabel.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. This was fun, you guys. And honestly, your questions were great. So I really look forward to working with so many of you, hopefully meeting some of you guys in the future. And thank you just for spending your evening with me. I know time is our most precious asset, so I appreciate the time being spent with us.
Isabel, thank you so much for your time. I know it's very valuable, and we appreciate your expertise. As you can tell, Isabel is an expert at what she does. She does this day in, day out. She knows exactly how to help you. So if you're at all inclined, Don and I stand behind this wholeheartedly. We would love for you to sign it and work with Isabel and her team. They're incredible. So highly encourage it. Great opportunity there. Isabel, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Yay. Thank you, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Kendall.
Talk to you soon. Take care. Good to see you.
Bye.
See ya.